So, it's been quite some time since I've last played The Evil Within 1 and Evil Within 2. So primarily The Evil Within 2. We've played on the channel from a start to finish and played it very thoroughly. Played the DLCs from The Evil Within 1 from Tango Gameworks. And when I first heard about the game that is being mentioned in this one, Tokyo or Ghostwire Tokyo, I wasn't anticipating the game to be a thing. But anyways, welcome to Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude, the Corrupted Casefile. This is going to be episode 0 of the series. Ghostwire Tokyo is a title that's hard for me to read because I keep mixing like 3 different words into one title. So excuse me if I mess up the name. But anyways, I'm RozaldVane. This would be the episode 0 for the series, which is not going to have its own thing. It's just going to be like a singular video. I'm going to try my best to get through all of it in like one sitting for this particular free-to-play game. This is like a free visual novel that talks about the stuff that's happening before you jump into Ghostwire Tokyo's like main game stuff. So it's kind of like the events leading up to the main game story, which we will play and proceed to play after this episode. So that will be the episode 1 for the whole series, but this will be the episode 0 because this would be the sort of like thing that we jump into. But yeah, I've really thoroughly enjoyed the Evil Within series from Tango Gameworks. Again, very surprised that Ghostwire Tokyo was the game that they announced at E3 in 2019, I believe it was when they first announced it, or 2018, forget whenever it was. It was interesting to see that like the developers showed up on the stage, showcased the game, had enthusiastic presentation about how this game would be really cool, really interesting, and the trailer really excited me a little bit. I didn't really have full understanding of what was going on. All I knew was that it had like the yokais and like the weird supernatural stuff that the Tokyo stuff or the Japanese mythology kind of would have, but mixed in with the sort of like modern take of like character or type of like stuff that turns into ghosts and stuff like that. So it was really intriguing to me personally, so I was wanting to jump into it eventually. But anyways, enough talking. I want to quickly get through this because I feel like this is not really long, but I don't want to extend it to a super length. I don't think there's much to this stuff, but it's free to play, so I'll provide, again, the links down below if you want to play this game. I already turned off the music because I always hate to deal with copyright stuff, so I just did that for the sake of myself. But anyways, let's get into it. And I believe this visual novel is fairly short because it's just a quick introduction to things. Rinko? God damn it, Rinko. Yeah, it's kind of weird that I had to read through it, but it just like drops you in. It's just like, oh, okay, I guess. Erica? I'm sorry if I mix between like reading it in the way that the Japanese would, like instead of English, it's like in English we say Erica. In Japanese, it's Erika because the R is a little bit more centered. 429. This is Shibuya, yes. Okay, sorry. My brain was like looking at 429 because I'm playing Neo The World Ends With You, which is located in Shibuya as well. And that game says 409, and I'm just like, or 104, I mean. And I'm like just confused by the whole like spectacle about which one's realistically Shibuya represented, or it's just me misreading things. And look, it's the bookstore on the next to the character's head right there on the bottom right. Anyways, no one wants to talk about it, but it's all that's on anyone's minds these days. Mysterious things are happening all around Shibuya. Sightings, attacks, disappearance, fear. How is a kid supposed to be a kid in a time like this? But honestly, Ryota never really was like most kids. He's not usually glued to his phone all day. Oh, I get to select these things. Okay. I'm guessing he's being a little bit concerned. He or she, I don't know if it's... I think this is Ryota, and Ryota is like a male's name, I believe, so I'm guessing it's a he, but I don't know, it could be a she as well. I mean, I have no clue about it. let's see, the Kiriga Olga vanishing. Ryota's concerns bring him to a mysterious case file posted online. It's titled the Kirigaoka vanishing. He reads it to himself the best he can. Having tracked another report of dark fog to the area, I arrived to find it had passed, leaving dreary rain hanging over the neighborhood. At the scene, all we found were the clothes of a mother and a son, left behind like two molted cicada shells. Sorry, I don't really read cicadas like in the wording of it for that long. I recently knew how to pronounce it, cicadas, because I heard it from a show or something. But then I keep like previous to that, I keep calling it cicadas. I'm just like, what is this? Or because cicadas, I don't know. I don't think that's how you pronounce cicadas. But yeah, the clothing disappearance thing is also a thing that I saw a lot of in the trailer, where everybody disappears from the world because of some supernatural reasons, and they leave their clothes behind, which is interesting too. It's hard to even imagine a parent and her child just gone, precious lives snuffed out forever. My heart sank knowing that I had failed to protect them. It was the worst feeling I'd ever felt, as if on cue, the rain started pouring down, heavier and heavier. It fell with each passing minute, but I couldn't be bothered to take out my umbrella. That's when the obvious culprits returned to the scene of the crime. A group of monsters. They had umbrellas on their own. As if rain followed them wherever they go, I was furious. I brought hell down onto them at the very moment. They tried to protect themselves with the umbrellas, but I just kept pounding on them until they were battered and broken. I was so exhausted. I could have fallen over at any moment, but my utter wrath kept me going. As I picked up to leave, I still refused to open up my umbrella. I just walked away, rain pouring and soaking me to the bone. KK. Interesting. So KK is a character we don't know yet. Unable to shake the idea that monsters are all around him, Ryota on his phone to a document called the Maruno Uchi vanishing. The language is complicated, but he works to understand it. It says, I got a tip on a missing woman from Maruno Uchi. When you've been a detective as long as I have, you tend to build up a big network of contacts. The story my contact told me was that they saw a woman one day when the fog rolled in. It blanketed the area, and then poof, she was gone. Times like these make me wish a certain somebody was around. Come to think of it, the fog and these disappearances set the scene for when I first met the rest of my crew. Nobody kept talking about folks just up and disappearing, and I thought it was a load of horse crap. It wasn't until I met them, and until my encounter, that I believed. Ever since then, I've been haunted by what I would have once called hallucinations. Turned out, being able to see spirits and monsters isn't fantasy movie nonsense after all. Guess I should be thankful, because otherwise, I wouldn't have seen through that monster taking the form of a woman. She made a bunch of red orbs appear that chased me around, but I knew so long as I didn't let myself get surrounded, I'd be okay. She was a nightmare to look at, so I put her out of her misery. When I searched the scene, I spotted a woman's handbag, found the missing lady's ID cards in there. Then I came across some clothes that looked like they would have been hers. They were in a little pile, but the way they had fallen made it clear her body just had vanished. No mistaking whose handiwork it was either. I finally managed to get my hands on a solid enough lead to work with. KK. Alright. Guessing we can revisit the other ones, I guess, if we wanted to. There's no scrolly wheel or anything, so... It's also interesting that they do very minimal UI work to, like, because I don't see any, like, menu UI around to help me, guide me to, like, if I want to say I'm done, I don't want to read this through anymore, I wouldn't, but I would just say, like, if I was a typical user who just got, or a player who just got bored of the visual novel and just wants to leave, like, there's no UI to tell you that you have a menu if you want to escape. Could monsters have really lived among us? These case files say that yes, they absolutely can, and do, according to this one. A lady called about a missing person who vanished from the bathroom of her apartment. Usually I'd brush it off as another runaway, but after seeing the crows circling around her apartment, I had a bad feeling there'd be more to this. The black stains on the front door verified my hunch. It turns out that I'm the only one that can see these black stains. The lady who lived there and showed me in made no signs of noticing it. She showed me the bathtub and gave me a play-by-play of what happened. Her boyfriend was taking a bath, longer than usual, and so she went to the bathroom to check in on him. When she opened her door, her boyfriend was gone, and for a short instant, there was a reflection of an old shrine on the surface of the bathwater. Ooh, that's really cool, though. I think that these unique ghostly scenarios or supernatural scenarios are, like, something that I personally like to see a lot of in, like, either movies or games or TV shows. Like, some things like these are interesting to me, where it's, like, normal, everyday occurrences turned into something interesting is, like, it's, like, an interesting thing that happens, because you don't really think about, like, your normal, like, thing happening to be, like, a normal, or happening to be, like, some fantasy movie, like, area, which was earlier explained. But anyways, I rubbed my finger on the rim of the bathtub, and there was a transparent, sticky slime-like substance on it, a reflection of a shrine shown on the water's surface. I'll need to talk further with my team about the incident, to see if these things rings any bells. I purged the black stain on the front door, and then left the scene. Poor lady. What will she do now? What can any of us do? KK. Okay, that was mostly it. There's just this one thing left, I guess? I mean, I already read this, haven't I? In these posts, the kids have found something, or rather someone. Someone called KK has been looking into monsters in this part of town. A believer, just like Ryota. Social media would never lie, and that means KK is an expert. Maybe the expert in all these paranormal things. There was only... Oh, geez, I accidentally misclicked. There was other something I didn't get to read. Having pored over every story post and grainy photo about local monsters he could find, Ryota prepares to take action. I'm gonna ask this KK guy to help. Just gotta figure out where he lives first. It's a Google form of the Japanese thing, Sagas or Sagasu. Okay, I already read this line. He's doing something. There's Ghostwire, Tokyo. Contact. Oh, so he's just gonna contact some website that has the same name as the game. Dear Mr. Investigator Person. Alright, where are we going now? Rinko. Okay. Dear Mr. Investigator Person. Hello. How are you? I'm not good, and I need your help. Monsters got my best friend Sosuke. Rinko sits up in her chair. She's zeroed in on one of the dozen monitors from across a makeshift command center stuffed into this cramped Tokyo apartment. It happened near the manhole. Please help me get him back. Data files across the screens, seemingly too much. Charts and graphs, maps and mathematical equations, even social media feeds are open case files. Somehow through all of those screens and all of the clutter, Ryota's message catches Rinko's eyes. Sounds desperate, but it could just be some bored kid trolling us. Calm and confident, Rinko insisted on balancing compassion with skepticism in any analytical approach. On the other hand, that manhole is within the vicinity of several recent incidents. Maybe he is involved. She knows what she thinks, but she also knows no one can protect Tokyo all by themselves. Trusting your teammates is the only way to keep everyone safe. What do you make of it, Ed? Ed squints and takes a single deep breath as he turns to the screen. You know what's funny? This character reminds me of the developer, I forgot his name, from Tango Gameworks. It's just kind of interesting to see a guy who looks just like that, the developer, a little bit. Actually, let me take a pause and see the options first, because I think this audio is a little bit too low, I think. There we go. I'm sorry if the audio was super low. I did not know. I thought the audio was like at least decent for my ears, but I think that it was like not being heard completely, which would be interesting. I'll probably boost the volume up until this point, where I get to this point, so that it could be a little bit more heard. But for some reason, it was starting off with very low audio, because I heard ha, blah, blah, blah. I heard like something in the background. I was just like, is it the game, or is it just my headphones just being very low in audio or something? I didn't know. Anyways, he has something to say, but holds back. Technology is easy. People are hard. Instead of speaking up, he places a small recorder on his desk. He presses play, and as the audio begins to roll, Ed turns and walks away. Ed's voice. What the heck? I've heard intriguing stories about so-called manhole girls in Japan. Vengeful ghosts of bullied students said to trick other children into following them into the sewer, from where they would never return. If any information turns up about such anomalies, I'd be keen to investigate. Though I speak purely out of personal interest, it might not be enough to make the rest of my team pursue it without further investigation.
Okay.
Okay, safe to say, since you somehow found the time to record something this specific about a single urban legend that you want to look into. Ed is already engrossed in other work. He doesn't respond. He certainly doesn't notice when Rinko rolls her eyes. He rarely does. Probably best we have no idea how you spend your free time, huh, Ed? Erika's been sitting next to Rinko this entire time, listening and waiting for the right time to chime in. That time is... Want me to check it out?
Yeah.
I don't think so, Erika. Could be dangerous. What if something happens to you? Seriously? You still don't trust me to go out by myself for 5 minutes in the middle of the day? At just 16 years old, Rinko might be right to not trust Erika on something dangerous. But Rinko knows Erika had shown a maturity beyond her years. She gives Erika an almost sisterly look of skepticism. I like how Rinko's like always giving some sort of like skepticism to a lot of like everything that's going on. But I also wonder how they all play a part to the main game of Ghostwire Tokyo, because it's like these characters don't get seen in the trailers ever, so it's just like, unless it's like something to do with the main character, because the main character is concerning himself with family. So I'm wondering if one of these characters, either Erika or Rinko, definitely not Ed, if anything, if one of them is his sister or something, because I know it's something about his sister or something. You know, it's not that. Rinko quickly turns back to her monitors and away from Erika. But for all her maturity, Erika can't quite keep from pouting. Stop making that face. Besides, we got our own private detective in the vicinity already. I'll have him take a look. And it's that guy from earlier at the start of this visual novel, I bet. The stall is brimming as a whole array of customers eat in relative silence. The only sound they make is the slurping of their noodles. That silence breaks when the phone begins to vibrate upon the countertop. The owner ignores it, choosing to focus on this meal instead. The phone doesn't care about his hunger and continues to vibrate. The phone wins. The peace and solitude have shattered. This is no way to enjoy noodles. God damn it. The silent diner finally glances at the screen and he begins to mutter to himself.
Oi, oi.
Another case? These people have me working harder than my enemies ever did. Can't even get 5 minutes to enjoy a nice quiet lunch. It doesn't even look like lunch time. It looks like dinner already because of how dark the area is. Alright, now what? Oh, I had to actually click on the buttons. Oh, we got a choice. This choice seems really hard for me. The detective reached over and pressed the ignore button and turns the ringer off entirely. In the beautiful silence, he takes another big slurp of noodles. I might not always be around. Time to see how they do without me. Oh, interesting. I think he's ignoring my messages. I know he'll never win world's most reliable partner, but this isn't really like him. It's not in his style to turn down a job like this, no matter how minor it might seem. He puts his stuff all the time. He pulls this stuff all the time. Probably fine. If he's involved, it's hard to say what's possible. It could be serious, Ed. I think it's serious, Linko. A rumor is so simple to verify. It's far more likely our friend has already looked into it and dismissed it. After all, the manhole girl legend isn't entirely new. Our energy may be better off elsewhere. You're right. We've got more important things to focus on right now. This time, another social media post pops up and grabs Rinko's attention. Reports of a yokai, in the form of a double-tailed cat, milling about a local convenience store. Wait, is that the end of it? Ryota stares at his phone, waiting for a reply, but he doesn't receive one. With no one to help, he doesn't know what to do. The only thing he can do is wait. Where are you, Mr. KK? My friend is in trouble. Ryota pulls out his notebook and begins to doodle to pass the time. He draws a child in a raincoat dancing under the umbrella. Unless... Ryota stops drawing and slowly looks up. Someone is approaching from the alleyway behind his house. No, Ryota! Game over, really. So that's the end of it. Also, the audio from the lunch stuff was still playing after I left the lunch territory. Okay, so we can continue back on this. Okay, so there is a lose state, basically. Alright, let me skip through this because we already read through this. So there is a losing state. That's kind of weird to me, that you can lose in this small little visual novel. Alright, accepting it this time.
Oi.
Let me guess. I'll be risking my life in them. That's why you let it ring for so long? Too scared to pick it up? Ha! You know the exact day I stopped being scared of anything. The day you stopped being a loner and hooked up with us so we could have your back. Wait, no, that was Ed speaking. My bad. I thought it was KK speaking. Sure, that works. Besides, I'm not fool enough to pretend this team isn't half okay. If you need backup, you know I'll be there. No questions asked. I actually already volunteered, but right now, there's nothing dangerous to be worried about. It's a simple check-in to a report of some suspicious activity that might be connected to those phenomena we've been looking into. It's always the simple cases that go south the fastest. You know what? You're right. Maybe Erika should run point on this one. Sure, she's just a kid, but you're busy, so... Whoa! Hold up. Let's not sacrifice the rookie to make me look bad. I'm already out. Send me the info and I'll get it. First, though, I need to talk to the one of you about something. Oh god, why is there like a specific something? I'll take Ed. Ed, I'm betting you have a file on this already. Got a file on everything? Why don't you say that? I have files dedicated solely to listing in subjects that I don't have more complete files on yet. Want me to pull them up? Oh, just give me the highlights. Unfortunately, what I know about the legend of the manhole girl so far is that it's just a legend. There may not be anything else to know. Sorry, I don't know why I said more. It appears to be a story passed around by kids at sleepovers. Wouldn't be the first time something that isn't supposed to be real attacked me in the dark alley. If you're worried, maybe it's time to return to the field. When I wear my hat, I blend right into the Tokyo crowd. Funny, I would have never marked you as a Tokyo native. Then again, the place is absolutely crawling with tourists, isn't it? Thanks for the insight. I'll take it from there. Alright. Okay, Ryota this time is at his house again. Ryota doesn't notice the people passing him on the street. They don't notice him either. He is young, but he is very alone. Very much alone. His focus is centered on the small bit of paper in his hands. After a couple folds, the paper finds a familiar configuration. With the head, arms, and body, it takes shape. A palm-sized person stands in his hand. As Ryota inspects his creation, someone who has been observing him from afar steps out of the shadows. I also think this is like those, like, I forgot what they're called. Like, I know that it's kind of like the Japanese folklore with, like, the idea that you have papers that are, like, in the shape of a person as, like, a sacrificial thing. Like, it sacrifices, like, some kind of soul just to protect you or something like that. Like a good luck charm almost, or a sacrificial soul thing. I think I was reading a manga that had something to do with it, but I'm not sure if it's tied similarly to that idea.
Oi, oi.
What have you got yourself into? Or what have you got there? Ryota looks up. He's nervous, but clutches the paper doll in his hand to stay brave. He's not running or hiding, despite the gruff stranger staring at him. No need to be afraid. I'm not here to do anything bad to you or your little friend. Gotta admit, I've known to carry the odd paper doll with me on investigations. Strange habit, I know. But you get the benefits of a partner, without the annoying small talks. Ryota's shoulders ease. He lets his guard down as he listens to the detective and re-examines the folded paper. The detective surprises him with his playful tone. He's rusty, but he somehow feels comfortable talking to the scared kid. Sometimes paper dolls are used for magical purposes. You a sorcerer by chance? Now's the time to tell. So you really are him, Gonna have to be more specific, kid. Nah. You're KK, the ghost hunter from the files. You must be. I just thought you'd be taller. They say you solve strange mysteries, right? KK. Maybe. The detective looks closely at Ryota's phone. He sees the social media posts featuring photos of various case files he was worked on, collected in one place. Look, I only use those initials because writing out my full name is a pain. And I got too much pain already. Not your problem, right? Anyhow, that's me, KK. But I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm a detective. KK's demeanor hardens a bit, dropping the playfulness. You want an investigator, kid? Well, you got one. I'm so glad you're going to look into the disappearance of the manholes. Here's the thing, I already this guy, KK. It's hard for me to determine if the characters are like talking, but it's like I need to read the names oddly enough to just know it's not the character speaking or the certain character's not speaking. Here's the thing, I already did. Made some calls on the way here. There's no record of any recent disappearances. Still got a few friends on the force, so I can dig dirt quick. KK shoots Ryota a serious look.
Oh.
Not trying to pull a fast one on me, are you, kid? It's true. My buddy Sosuke disappeared. He hasn't come home since yesterday. Last place I saw him was right back here. Ryota motions to the alleyway behind him. He went down that way. I tried to follow, but I couldn't find him. He was completely gone. If Ryota is bluffing, he's an incredible liar. A sadness comes over him when he looks back towards the alley. KK looks back and forth, and the kid then to the alleyway behind him. All alleys are dark, but this one looks like it's never seen daylight. See any fog when that happened? The moment he disappeared? Now that you mention it, there has been something spooky around, like a kind of fog or darkness, but it came and then went. Alright. KK mutters something to himself as he eyeballs the alleyway behind Ryota. Nothing looks immediately out of place. With so much going on in the city, some kid getting lost doesn't exactly seem like a front page news. Call the kid's bluff? Interesting. I'll probably press for more info at least. I need more to go on, kid. Why are you so convinced that he was taken? Didn't happen to anyone else around here. But it did happen to my best friend. Sosuke's been missing for 2 full days. Everyone has been looking, but no one can find him.
Eh?
What about his parents? Have they filed a police report? Yeah, I would think the same thing. It's like, if they filed a police report, at least they would still be looking. But not too proactively, I feel like. Because it's just a big city, I bet. I'm the only one who really cares about Sosuke. I know he needs me. And no one else is even looking for him anymore. Just me. He's lucky to have you. It's like when you saw crows circling around the building in one of the cases you investigated. You knew there was more to it than anyone else. Well, Mr. KK, I know there's more to Sosuke's disappearance. I just need your help.
Oh.
Really? Did your homework, huh? I'm impressed. You're more dedicated than most adults, I know. You remind me of my friend Erika. She lost someone too. And she'll never stop fighting for them either. KK takes another glance at the alley.
Oi.
Alright, show me exactly where this Sosuke pal of yours disappeared to. Ryota perks up. Nah. So you're gonna look into it? I'm here, ain't I? Let me check in with my team. See if they figured anything out. Could save us some time. KK reaches for his phone. What's up? We're all here. I just need a quick word with one of you to follow up on what the kid has told me. I don't know who to talk to in this point. It's between Ed and Rinko. I'll take Rinko. You find anything else? I know you've been searching all over the place on your fancy computer. Some working details have started to emerge. The type of details that mean he is for sure involved. Social media is starting to pop up with posts about the disappearance of a mysterious dark fog. It's been popping up in neighborhoods with similar data sets to the one Ryota is called from. School absences are also on the rise. I can't confirm if those represent actual disappearances or just spooked kids trading scary stories, but it's clear. Fear and paranoia are taking hold. Yeah, figured that out Figured out that much. Oh, really? You carry a fear and paranoia detector now? Did Ed develop that when I wasn't paying attention? Years on the force are what gave me my fear detector. You can't beat experience. But I do appreciate your input, even if I already knew it all. Ryota, it's time to find Sosuke. Alright. Ooh. This place is very cool looking, though. Nothing looks out of place, but things are rarely what they seem. KK slowly but deliberately reaches for his hand out. He's not holding on to anything, but you would think that he is by the way he's moving. Like he's got something invisible dangling from his fingertips. Ryota has no clue that what he's trying to do, but he watches closely. However, what happens next can only be seen by KK's eyes. As KK opens his finger, a sparkling orb of energy drops from his hand down onto the ground. It ripples like water in a still pond, energy flowing outwards into the world. Ooh. It's like a sonar sensor. Oh? Interesting. That looks like a person? A strange trail floats into view, as though a spirit has passed through this place. Psychic energy. The trail leads on further on, deeper into the alley and out of view. Guess he went that way. Puzzled, Ryota follows KK's eyelines down the alley, but sees nothing out of the ordinary. What happened? I don't see anything. Trust me, kid. It's good you can't see it. This is a power you don't want. And you're far too young for it. To take a risk like that and change your life forever. The world's a scary place. It keeps getting worse. We're gonna find your friend and get you back to your life. Alrighty. This is running longer than I normally would have thought about it, but hey, it's something. KK and Rinko are in big trouble this time, running like rats desperate to stay alive, with only a dingy old sofa between them and monsters. We better find another exit. Rinko turns to KK and sees him holding his head. Wait, I'm so confused. Sorry. Sees him. So Rinko is a guy. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was a girl or guy all this time. He appears to be in great pain. Damn. It's happening again. Your body's reacting to the ether. As KK looks at the room, his vision begins to break in half. He tries to focus, but rather than reform, everything continues to split apart even further. Another hallucination. The world is breaking in two. That'd be crystallized either. Another form of matter. Sounds like your body has entered these final stages of affinity. From thin air, like phantoms, those horrific visitors appear, surrounding KK and Rinko. Damn. Oh, wait, no, that's not KK. Damn, we're surrounded. And back to this. Mr. KK? Are you okay? Huh? Sorry, kid. My mind can be a little hard to control. He just kind of stood there for a little while. Sometimes my memory take me places. Hate to leave you alone again, but you need to wait here while I look for your pal. Sit tight. I won't be long. I'm wondering what the memory thing is, though. It just kind of feels weird to, like, see the whole story just take in a different direction. It just becomes very confusing versus having to understand what went down in that sequence. I kind of wish I knew, but it was just like a little bit more confusing than normal. But anyways, a report on Rinko's computer setup flashes on screen. Ed's monitoring software has a hold of something big. The results are clear. Spiritual residue, and it's exactly at KK's location.
Oi.
What is it now? We just received an alert. There was a massive surge of spiritual energy at your location. Hold off on pursuing until we are able to send support. Can't wait forever, you guys. We might have a missing child on our hands. We got plenty of evidence. I know what I'm getting myself into. Remember, fog reports are increasing. There's fear in the streets. Time to act. Of course, I know those things. I'm the one who told you. I also know how dangerous it's getting out there. This time could be even worse than the last. What if he shows up?
Oi, oi.
Wish he would. Excited to see that mask snap in two when I put my fists through it. It's not fair to ask us for help when you think you need us, then use your own words against us. When you're too impatient to act as a team, we're in this together. KK decides to address one team member specifically to make his case. I feel like it would be on the case of Rinko still. Fair? What about anything that happened to us is fair? This job that no one asked us to do. But we all know we can't escape. You're damn right. It happened to us, not just you. I had to throw myself into the fire even though I knew I'd get burned. Hurt like hell, but it saved both of our lives. Couldn't forget that day if I wanted to. There's no way of knowing what would have happened if you didn't, but just because you got hurt doesn't mean that was the only option. You're right. That I didn't agree with you then, and I didn't agree with you now. I don't agree with you now either. But I also know that you're just doing what you feel you must. I hate that I admire you for that sometimes. This team means everything to me, Rinko. It's all I've got, and I'm going to protect it. Trust me. I'm trying. Maybe make it easier next time. I'll talk to you later. I'm in the middle of an investigation. He never knew. Yeah, he never was any good at following people's directions. That attitude of his is precisely what's saved our hides on countless occasions. You don't think I realized that? You don't think I realized that? Sorry, I read that weirdly. Erika smiles, thinking about KK's attitude. It doesn't bother her. Alright. Back to the memory. Ooh. We're finally seeing these monsters for the first time, I guess. Damn. Oh wait, no, this is Rinko. Damn, they're everywhere. KK's eyes darted between the two horrific figures, and to some incredible strange glowing crystals that hover nearby. As he tries to speak, KK wheezes painfully. Rinko, what would happen if someone tries to touch one of those other crystals? Your guess is as good as mine. It might give you the power to fight back. It might just make you even more miserable. Who can say? What about him? Did it grant him strength? Rinko nods silently. After getting his answers, KK, without hesitation, stretches his hand out towards the crystal. Wait, stop! Stopping's not an option. Not for any of us. You don't know what will happen. It could kill you. And those things won't. We're dead if we don't even try something.
Yeah.
We aren't out of options yet. We've thrown away everything to fight these monsters. Same as me. There's not a goddamn thing left to lose at this point. Before Rinko could say anything else, KK reached out all the way out. Oh, those are the crystal things that the character grabs in the main game to use for abilities, I believe. Oh, there's a manhole. KK follows a trail of psychic energy deeper into the dark Shibuya alleyway, away from the glow of familiar street lights and vending machines. His ventures into the unseen brings him to the manhole cover, where the spirit residue flashes with an eerie intensity. The spot is clearly the origin point of whatever spirit is in the center of this mystery. Did they take you this way, Sosuke? KK looks around again and, finding nothing, focuses his attention on this haunted manhole. The spectral vision shows KK a lot more than he thought. Revealing a glowing specter hovering in this dark and dreary place, the spirit of a man in his 30s. A Jibaki-rei, according to Japanese lore, this type of spirit is trapped in a physical location. Okay, Spectre, what's keeping you tied down here? The Spectre seems unable to answer him. Instead he mutters as if distracted or perhaps completely delirious. Either or, maybe both. Spectres aren't especially concerned with politeness or clarity. Neither of us is going anywhere until I get some answers. I need to know. What are you doing here specifically? At this manhole cover. What haunts this place? Why haunt this place? I thought that it was a kid. Just a kid playing around. Just having fun. Alone. I wanted to make sure he was safe. So just being neighborly, huh? Yes. No. Not making friends. Protecting. But he wasn't. It wasn't.
Oi, oi.
It wasn't a kid, though, was it? There was something else. Something lurking in these shadows. Did I die? I think I died, but this isn't what I expected. What was it? A monster. Monster. The Spectre points downwards. Underneath, huh? KK stares at the manhole as though if he just looks hard enough, he'll suddenly see what lurks in the darkness beneath its cover. He doesn't have to see the Spectre nod to know he's right. It went that way. Before he can pull the manhole cover and see for himself, a long shadow creeps in from the edge of the alleyway.
Nah.
Did you find anything? Snooping around is detective business. You don't belong back here. I thought I heard you talking to someone. Who is this youngster? Only I can hear you, so you better don't. So don't bother. Only you can hear me? Well, sure. Nobody else is even here. This is turning into a damn clown show. Kid, I need you to stay here while I go down. It's not safe for you there. Not safe. Not safe. Monster. But how do you know I'll be safe up here? My team is one call away. They'll get here quick if you're in danger. Weren't you saying something about being in the middle of an investigation, too busy to talk to anyone? Funny you mentioned that. I could actually use some help. I believe they call it client services. Who are you calling, mister? Are they nice like you or nicer? Client services. Sounds more like babysitting to me. If only you would wait for us to get there. We play the hand we were dealt. And juggling work and childcare has never been my strong suit. I need a little support. Rinko sighs, a long, tired sigh of a frustrated person who knows that in the end, of course, they'll help. She'll always help him, just as he will always help her. And I have a perfect candidate in mind. Erica. It's obvious, because she's at his age almost, a little bit older. Erica. She's the only kid I actually know and like anymore. Hey, KK. You need my help? I can be there ASAP. I do need your help, but it can't wait. My new friend Ryota, the one calling us for help, who called us for help. Is he a little afraid of you?
Oi.
What? No. Why would you think that? I mean, yeah, maybe a little. But no, that's not it. Although it'd be better if he did fear me, then I could do my work. Oh. Yeah, you aren't really that scary. I think I get it. Let me talk to him. KK hands his phone to Ryota and motions for him to accept the call. Yes? Is this Mr. Ryota? Yes. I'm so excited to get to speak with you. I have heard that you are quite the investigator. I need help from someone like you. What could I do to help you? Well, our friend who is with you, he actually has 2 missions. Since he is looking for your friend, maybe you could swap and look for my friend. If we share the responsibility, I'm sure that he can achieve success together as a team. I suppose I could try to help you, since he is helping me. Okay, but first, can you keep it a secret? It's a very important and related to this mission. Yes, I'm best at secrets. I won't tell you how I know that, but it's true. My friend is a cat. I put a tracker on her collar and that says she is nearby you, in the alley by your house. I miss her dearly. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but some of my best friends are animals. Your secret is safe with me. What does she look like? She's all black and with one white spot with a few white whiskers. Her name is Monet. Like the painter? Monet, I guess is the painter's name. Not Monet. I don't know why I say Monet. And she really likes to hide. Can you look closely in between and behind all the vending machines and trash cans? Just to be safe, text me a picture of every dark corner you can find. She's very good at camouflage and easy to miss. I will find your friend. Ryota hands the phone back to KK and turns his attention to the nearest trash can. Phone out, he seems to be inspecting each side of it. Lucky you, your new buddy is an animal lover just like me. I've given him a rescue mission to find a missing cat and send me a photo of it. But if he succeeds, tons of strays here, he might actually bump into one. I could always use more cat pics texted to me, and maybe he'll give it a home that it needs. Win-win. Now to get down there and find your pal Sosuke. It is fascinating that this runs longer than I thought it would run for, because I was thinking it would be like a 30-minute run, but it's like probably near an hour probably. It's interesting though. Dirty water splashes under KK's feet as he makes his way through all the still darkness of Shibuya's sewers. The further he goes, the darker it gets, but not because of any change in light. No, this darkness is unnatural. In fact, its darkness at all is tangible. Dense fog made of spiritual energy fills the air. Toxic paranormal waste coats the ground and plugs the drains. Oh. But the air, The air itself is rejecting him. The corruption flows between worlds and reaches around him, blocking KK's way. How long has it been building up right below our feet? Is it like this everywhere? As KK goes deeper, the Kigare only increases. I think that's what they are, Kigare. There's definitely something here if there's this much corruption swirling around. Nothing I can't handle, though. Alone in the darkness, KK summons his power, and... Oh, I have to trace this, really? Oh god, I can't trace with my mouse very well. Was it like this? And then like this, and then like this. Sheesh, okay. Cleanses the corruption, returning the sewer to its normal state. That's better. Minus the stink. With the Kigare now cleared, as if they were waiting for a moment of safety, someone appears. Sosuke? Is that you? The small boy avoids KK's look, turning his back and picking at something on the wet ground. Splish, splash, splish, splash. Hey you, kid, you okay? Can you hear me? Are you hiding from something? Take a bath. Oh no, that's the kid. Take a bath, take a bath. Come on, kid, this isn't the time of the place. Answer me. I'm not trying to scare you, but you gotta work with me here. In the vast darkness of the sewer, the sound of KK's phone suddenly rings out. The tinny? I don't know why. I feel like that's a misspelling of tiny. The teeny chime echoing back and forth around the hollow space. The small boy in the raincoat doesn't seem to notice. He must be very preoccupied. I'm close. I found Sosuke, but I'm worried he won't. Muffled sounds. Down so far, the signals to KK's phone is barely holding on. He can only make out a few sounds and struggle to make out what words they might be forming. Muffled sounds.
Oi, oi.
Hello? Is anyone there? Rinko? Is that you? Ed? Erica? Who is this? I mean, the phone kind of shows a picture of Rinko, so... Rinko? Can you hear me? Are you with Ryota? Can you ask him, was Sosuke wearing a yellow raincoat? The scratchy connection makes it almost impossible to understand. Sosuke... It's about Sosuke? Not... Rinko? I can't understand. Sosuke is not what? Not Sosuke. The call cuts out. The phone gets going dead in KK's hand. Damn. Enough screwing around, Sosuke. Just like that, finally, as if called by his mother to come to dinner, the child responds. He stands up and turns to KK with his dead, evil eyes. You're not Sosuke. You're the monster. KK raises his hand and calls forth an energy he discovered that day long ago. The day he found his back against the wall, reaching out to touching the other crystals. Ever heard of ethereal weaving, monster? Energy surges into KK's hand, green light winding and glowing, charging around his fingertips. The increasing bright lights glows, illuminating the tunnel. And in that moment, standing in the center of the tunnel, we can see the monster, this raincoat visitor, just in time for it to press a child's whistle into its mouth. And... Ooh. What? Just randomly teleports the guy out of there? At a stranger's fingertip lies K, now a prisoner. I need no subject to remain calm or else nothing will get done. I need my subject to remain calm, I see. Despite being captive, KK flashes the stranger a fierce glance. You son of a gun. Hello, my friends. I'm keen to see how useful your vessel turns out to be. The stranger takes something out and holds it in his hand. An amulet. Though clearly not simply for decoration, it surges with power. He looks from the amulet and back to KK and smiles. Oh, did he capture KK? Wait, what? As the monstrous little raincoat visitor blows his whistle, he steps back into the shadowy darkness.
Oh.
Running away, huh? But he's not running away at all. In fact, he's only making space for two much larger, far more horrifying visitors to show up and challenge KK. I've been waiting to run into you again. Let's go, you bastards. Damage a single visitor with a wind attack. Visitors perish after 2 hits. Summon a to protect from visitor attacks. Talisman stops visitors from moving. It will consume on use. I'll take this. I'll take the wind power. One umbrella visitor is injured. An umbrella visitor attacks. Maybe another wind attack. I'm not very fond with this whole, like, back and forth a little bit. One umbrella visitor is injured. An umbrella visitor attacks. Okay. One umbrella visitor is injured. The attack. I need my subject to remain calm or else nothing will get done. What? Just randomly? That's how we were dealing with it? Okay, well, I'm guessing the continues onto that sequence. I'm betting that this is the last part of it a bit. Because there's nothing much beyond this part besides just dealing with this thing. Alright. Maybe to stop them from moving, I guess? Let's go, you bastards. The umbrella visitors are frozen in place. Only one stun talisman is left. One umbrella visitor is injured. The umbrella visitor awakened from the stun. And that should kill off that one. He's about to attack. I'll shield myself. The barrier appears in front of KK. An umbrella visitor attacks, but his attack is deflected by the barrier. The barrier is broken. Stun again. The umbrella visitors is frozen in place. You have no more stun talisman. I'm guessing like these talismans are like ammo bullets for their abilities. Visitor awakens from stun and magic to your destruction. Is injured. You're done. Oh, interesting. They did the whole animation of the hand you would see in the main game. The fight now over. The sewer is oddly calm again. KK sweeps the space, looking for any clues that may be left behind. Why would a pack of monsters manifest their evil here? But then he sees it, affixed to one wall in the tunnel. A wooden tag, sometimes called a kifuda. This must be what summoned those things. KK reaches out to take the kifuda down, but at his fingertips approach it. And it's a trap. I think. Because earlier the guy did say it was a trap for me. Or for KK, rather. Rinko? God damn it. Rinko? Erika? KK feels a big, quick thump through his body. Okay, that didn't need to be a jump scare out of nowhere. When he looks down, he sees someone else's arm stabbing through his chest. It's horrifying. Black smoke rushes out of his body. Looking back up, KK sees a man wearing a Hanya mask. You're the stranger. Ugh. As KK comes to, he realizes that he is in the tunnel once again. No, still. He looks at his chest. It's totally fine. No gaping hole. Not even a scratch. Sweating, breathing heavy, his mind races. It was a horrible dream. Maybe. A vision? He grips the kifuda in his hands. I won't let him get away with this. So hard that it smashes into pieces. Ooh. At that moment, KK realizes he's not actually alone. Distracted by his fury, he has missed the approach of someone new. Who's there? Surprised, he spins to face this entity, but before he can raise his other hand. Ah! KK emerges from the tunnel to find Ryota waiting with the rest of the team. You fool! You run into the wall of Kigade, and your instinct is to walk deeper into it when you know we're on our own to help. We're on our way to help. Listen, No, you listen. I'm not done yelling at you, your stupid ass, for making me worry about you. Okay, but all of our instruments at HQ started going wild. We broke basically every traffic law in Tokyo twice to get here as quickly as possible. And then we find an open sewer entrance. Entrance is spelled wrong, funny enough. Little Ryota peering down into the dirty tunnel, clearly considering climbing down there despite our best efforts to cover for you and keep him busy. Sure, except... So we take a look for ourselves, it's corruption in all directions. The whole place absolutely soaking in spirit residue. It's like they're amassing an army beneath our feet and you go sniffing around alone? It's not... Oh, wait, no, it's KK. It's not... Maybe let her finish. Okay, I'm confused now. Is Rinko a girl or a guy? Because earlier they said he and him. And then suddenly it's she. Which is it, game? You gotta choose one. Maybe she just likes to be identified as he and her as well. Doesn't really matter, like, what the gender is for Rinko, I guess. Could be. Anyways, worst of all, you arrive stinking but unscathed. Having been gone for just long enough to have me convinced that you were really hurt down there. That I would never see you again alive. The problem with disappearing into a dangerous sewer all alone is that the longer you're gone after Rinko has asked you to be cautious, the more she has to consider the things she'll shout at you when you return. The things we've been through together, when you're in danger, as if I can feel it deep down, but there's nothing I can do. What if you had died? The thought of being haunted by you, of all people? I almost climbed down there just to kill you myself. I'm sorry. Should have waited. Don't you dare be nice to me right now. I need to calm down. I value your friendship and support. I didn't hear that. Safely above ground, reunited with his team, KK turns his attention to the original source of all this drama, his young client Ryota. You were never going to tell me, were you? Sosuke isn't your best friend, he's your dog. Wow, that's so mean. I believe Ryota is the kid we get to play as when he's a teenager in the main game, I bet. Because he literally has a dog as a companion in the main game, so... He's my dog, and my best friend.
Eh?
KK steps nervously as Sosuke tries to jump into his lap, tail wagging.
Yeah.
Oh, calm down. He just wants us to be pet. He just wants to be pet. Jeez. Who'd have thought that such a tough-as-nails former detective would have such a strong phobia around dogs? Don't have to broadcast it, alright? Don't be scared. Sosuke loves everyone. Maybe he could draw the line at loving monsters and following them into the sewer. Ryota hugs his dog and gets a face full of licks in response. KK relaxes slightly, seeing how harmless this little dog is, but still keeps some distance. Thank you so much for bringing him home safely, Mr. KK. Mr. KK? What an absolute alias. What an adorable alias. When exactly did you start going by this short nickname, KK? I suppose it was fun has a fun ring to it, not quite so formal as your full name. Before we get too sidetracked, as the lead investigator on this one, you've got some paperwork to do, KK. Not sure what's worse, fighting monsters or filling out these damn forms. It's obvious that you prefer the fighting to paperwork. KK scribbles out a few lines, only Ed can read them. Hey kid, this is for you. Oh, is it a prize for helping you find that ghost? Almost. It's the bill. You had to pay for his services. Ryota's face sinks as he left holding the check. Lucky for you, today's work is pro bono. That means free. Consider this your receipt. I'm feeling generous right now. Ryota looks closely at the paper. In his hands, it says, The Case of Cursed Manhole. Extermination complete. KK. Leaning in over his shoulder, Rinko lets out a uncharacteristically loud burst of laughter. Oh, now I get it. You didn't choose the nickname KK. Sloppy paperwork chose it for you. There's a lot in this life that we don't get to choose. Call me what you like. Not like I've got any use for my real name these days. And definitely not one of my old names. Doesn't matter what anyone calls me so long as I find that bastard. KK's gaze looks fierce as though he's recalling a bitter past. Reflecting in his eyes is Ryota, who looks pleased to receive KK's autograph. KK's expression softened up in a response. That's it. I guess KK is not so bad. And that's the end of it. Honestly, yeah, I didn't expect it to be a 1 hour episode here, but at least we know some things about the game, at least at this point. So, the game is interesting in the fact that this free little visual novel is like sort of like a way to just introduce some of the more important characters, I think, to the game. KK being probably one of the big ones, and Rinko and frickin' Ryoto is like both similar in freaking names, so it's hard for me to remember if I get mixed. Ryota, not Ryoto. Ryota is probably the main character for sure, because I do know that the main character in the main game has a dog who looks just like that Shiba Inu in the game here, which is the little dog that just like has a name, Sosuke. Yeah, like it's interesting to see that these are the characters that we will have to think about or meet as we go and play into the game. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in this next part of the game. So, anyways, yeah, if you want to check this game out for yourself, I didn't really choose all the other options for the other characters. I'm kind of curious myself what those characters would have said if I chose the wrong answers or something like that. But yeah, I think that it was an interesting thing to just kind of explore, as it's just not part of the greater story. It's just part of like a small little corner of the storytelling elements. I think one of the downside though is like a lot of confusing like scenes just cutting in instead of just having it to be shorter than it should be, I feel like. But at the same time, I am genuinely glad that this game at least introduced some characters to some problems, like the Henya Masked Man and the monsters that we're gonna see in the game, and like the little boy with the yellow trench coat will probably be something that we'll have to encounter, where we need to be careful with the enemy type that can call in enemy types, it seems. So that's an interesting, cool mechanic telling of how it introduces to the stuff. And then, and also the corrupted areas. We're probably gonna have to clear that out in the game. So that's I'm somewhat enthusiastic about some elements of it that's gonna be in the game, but a lot of the storytelling was a little bit messy for me to really gauge what I feel was important or not. Besides KK and Ryota just interacting, and finding out that the dog Sosuke is the one that KK saves and stuff, and KK is like some sort of like detective that is trying to save Tokyo from this sort of Hanya mask enemy stuff. So it's interesting to see some of the elements there, and I'm looking forward to the main game in the next episode, of course. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll let this credits roll by as I speak here, because I think that I want to make this as short as possible, but it's not getting any shorter than this apparently. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Of Your Mind. So hope you guys have a good, amazing day. Good night to whenever watching this. This will be a 1 hour episode, so I'll leave it as a full episode 0 kind of thing, which is a one-off anyways, and that will lead into the main game, which will be a different opening sequence where I'll talk about this video in general, but it will be like a different thing where I'll just introduce the same way I did here, so it could be easier for me to lend into it, I guess, in a sense. But anyways, again, if you guys want to check out this little visual novel, it's free, that I found out on Steam when I first saw the Ghostwire Tokyo game came out. Like this was advertised as like a free thing to just introduce characters to the players a little bit, and some of the more small elements of the game. And I do look forward to playing the main game once we get through this particular credits and stuff, and looking forward to all the gameplay and the stuff that we will be seeing when we get in there. So otherwise, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, next episode technically, or another video of mine. So hope you guys have a great, amazing day. Good night to everyone watching this. But yeah, I'm gonna let this credit roll. I'm surprised how much people were involved in such a tiny visual novel. I don't know, maybe it's like localization stuff. Yeah, they wanted to get most of the people in here, I guess, as much as possible. I honestly think that there's also not a lot to this thing, but I like the opening section for sure, where it's just talking about these cases that KK had dealt with. So I'm very curious if we're going to see more of that sort of case solving in KK in the main game or not. But oh, look, it's Asia KK from Asia. Yeah. All right. Waiting for it. I might press the escape button to see if it just cuts over forward. And about 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yeah, I wanted to see if there was any like ending episode stuff. All right, cool. Anyways, that's it for this episode. And I will see you guys in the main game in the next episode. So I already said my dues, I said my things, and that's mostly it. So, Roz out.